Okay, we got defensive coordinator Trent Matthews and Dimry-Lockhart with us today. Coach, just kind of a first brief recap of the big one over Colorado School of Mines for you guys this past weekend.
Man, it was an exciting opportunity. You don't get those every day. The biggest thing for us was to build confidence in our players and instill success that they can do it. Just all the hard work they built from coming here early in July to coming, staying together, finding jobs, and putting in blood, sweat, and tears that leading to this. So I'm excited for them. I'm glad it happened. And now it's on to the next.
Amarius, for you, being a freshman, starting almost since game one. I mean, at game two, you started against Central Washington, and then you get to play a lot of teams that are ranked, and then you get a big win at home. What was the feeling like? And talk about just kind of the defensive effort you guys had.
Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty crazy game because we were down at first, but we stayed we wanted to win the game. We didn't want to lose at all. So really, the seniors they were on us. They were like, we can't lose. Coach Matthews too, and Coach A, especially my coach, for sure, he was on me. So it was just put it on our shoulders and we just won. That was it.
Then, Coach, I'm going to leave all the good, juicy questions for everybody else that's here with us, but I'll give you kind of another softball here. Heading into Adams State this weekend, I know you guys probably have been preaching the whole week. Don't look past them. Don't look past them. What do you know about them, and what makes them a little dangerous?
What I know right now is they play hard. They don't got nothing to lose. So we got to, like you said it right, hit it on the hammer. On the nail. We got to go in there, going in 1-0, not looking over them and looking and really focusing on us and making sure we do the little things right and we communicate, we get aligned, we tackle all three phases of the game, and we actually put together a full team win. That's what we're looking to do, and I think that's the point of emphasis this week. So, and I always remind the defense, and especially Omar, y'all seen the Alabama game. So that gave you at least that gave you a little food for thought. So right now we're just going in, just focusing on us and making sure we're doing our job to the best of our abilities.
So you're the young guy on a very, very experienced defense. How have they kind of helped you get over being a freshman and going out and doing your job out there?
Yes, ma'am. Honestly, it's the seniors for us. It's the people next to me. It's Groot, Cage Street for sure. He telling me almost every play. He kind of telling me where to go a little bit if I'm confused or anything like that. I just look towards him. I ask him where to go. He tells me so. And then my coaches for sure. He's on me pretty hard during practice. If I mess up or anything like that, what I'm saying, he's making sure that I'm really really make sure I know what I'm doing. Make sure I'm really doing my job to the best of my ability too. He doesn't let me slack or nothing like that. So.
Say, Coach, the game came down. You finally take the lead, and it's going to be on the defense to finish this thing out. And it was a really long. It's like Dave said, it's going to be a long 5.5 minutes left. And I'm sure it felt even longer down there. But obviously, you've got to have the confidence that the way that defense is playing right now that they were going to do something.
Yeah, great question. I'm confident because I'm the way they practice. We preach 4 guys to the ball, so that's why we don't miss a lot of tackles. We have this thing where we're the zero defense, so we got 6 pillars: 0 complainers, 0 excuses, 0 late, 0 loafs, 0 left. So drain your tank, and then 0 points allowed. So we've been preaching that since we met in August. We make them recite it. They believe in it. That's our creed. So the confidence is already there. The heart is already there. The blood, sweat, and tears are already there. So when the defense is out, they look to each other. They fall back on their training, and then they just live in the moment, and no moment's really too big for them. So credit to them being able to go every day at practice and excelling and trying to rise up to the everyday practice. And I push them. I treat every practice as a new day and trying to get better. So, and they've been rising to the occasion every day. So I'm proud of them, and I'm looking forward to see what happens here in the near future.
Coach, 3 of the 5 games you guys have held to your opponents under 20. A game like that where the defense is clicking Is it more going into the second half of those games, like the game against Mines? Is it, hey, our game plan's working, let's stick with it? Is it, let's keep them guessing, let's keep adjusting? Or is it maybe somewhere in between where it's like little small adjustments?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the biggest thing for us is making sure they know how to play. They play fast, and it's not too difficult for them to recognize their job. And what do they do well consistently? I really talk to Coach K as a full staff. I know it's cliche to say, but keep it simple. But that's what we try to preach and do when we meet as a staff, and that's why they're able to just fly around. But that's my thought progression is, hey, what worked in the first half? What do these kids know that we can do differently? And then what can we execute when they get tired? So I think that's been a strategy that's helped us. And I'm looking forward to doing some new things and doing some stuff that we've always been successful with. So
What do you think has been one of the big differences here? Is it just a lot of the players on the defense having play reps together, they're junior seniors, or is it just kind of maybe a scheme difference, or just something's different in the air this year?
I think right now, again, we got we're young, but we're not, but just those guys that have been here, they've been, and even freshmen going into Kingsville, they've been battle tested. So games that are close, they don't blink. They don't flinch. So I think the older guys are doing a good job making sure, hey, everybody got their notebook when we're taking notes, making sure when we're doing study hall that everybody's on time. Again, going back to our 6 pillars on defense, 0 late. That's on the field and off the field. Like, nobody's late to class. Nobody's late to meetings. Nobody's late to join, party at the POW. So I think right now the feeling of the culture is at an all-time high because nobody wants to slack. And I think the leadership of Coach K has been a great asset for everyone because he holds the standard for all of us. So I think right now the achievement, they don't have to, they know the standard, and the standard is we have to be great in everything we do.
And then both of you guys, I just got to know, like we were joking, Dave was saying that final defensive stand, long 5 minutes, ball comes out. I think Speller fell on it, right? Yep. What's going through your guys' minds the minute you're like, ball's out, we got it?
Honestly, it was crazy. I wasn't in that play, so I'm watching on the sideline, and I'm just, you're antsy. You're like, you're nervous. You don't know what's going to go on. If you're going to win the game or lose the game. And then, Groot came in there and just hit the ball out right on the sack. His long arms. He real tall, so he got it out, and then we just went crazy. We was all excited and happy for him.
I think for me, man, is always tell them in tight games like that, rely on your training. So we have a drill called Country City. I know it's weird we say that, but when we do when we strip the ball, when the ball's on the ground, if people around you, just like a city, you have buildings around you. And then we say country when there's nothing but real estate. So if somebody strips it, we can scoop and score it. So we practice those attempts. That's natural for group to do those things. So the tip balls, the interceptions, the swarming to the ball, those are all muscle memory for these guys. So credit to them. I was excited. I was also praying, but really just excited for them. And I think no moment's too big for those guys. So I was expecting that because of what they did and what they've done in the past. So credit to those guys, and especially in the D line, getting it up front, holding them, rushing, and those back end guys, those back 8 guys, holding the receivers to that career 4,000 yards to minimum. So that's just credit to them. And our offense putting together drives and time of possession, being able to, score when they need to, almost 100 yards rushing. If not, I believe it was, but just trusting with each other. That was the most exciting thing, and something that money can't buy, in my opinion. So,
and then last question, something I feel like people don't ask defensive linemen about. I forgot who had the second pick. It was Tomey, and then
Williams.
Ball's intercepted. He starts running the other way. All of a sudden, you got to turn around and go from rushing the passer now. I got to start blocking for him. What's like, how does that get communicated to you? What's going through your mind? You're like, we got to pick. Now I got to turn around and.
Yeah, it's really not nothing when it comes to that because we practice that every day in practice for us. So somebody's gonna catch a pick at practice, us when we're going against each other or anything like that. So we really just already know what to do. Set a wall, let them return it. So that's really it.
Is there a code word like Oski? I know that's like the general code word.
No, we don't really got no code or nothing like
You
that.
just know.
It's just practice.
Telepathic.
Yeah, when it starts, when they catch the pick, we already know what to do.
Love it. And we already talked about the recovery, but talk about the strip from Cade. I mean, he's getting blocked. He's almost, a few feet from the quarterback, and he just right. You guys got to practice just punching the ball like that. I mean, it was textbook.
Yeah, man, it was. We laugh. We call him hit go gadget arms. We use that because he's 6'8". So just K Street doesn't talk a lot, so he leads with his actions. So he ain't gonna tell nobody, but he actually celebrated for once, and we actually got it.
Yeah, he was pretty happy.
Yeah, so
you don't usually see him smile too much.
Yeah, so just having that, that moment, but that was just a great job of him, just a relentless effort in what he does in practice. He does that. He had a lot of other plays that was within that game that, him being able to take on two blockers so Levi can make the tackle, or him taking and having a short edge so our safeties can be able to feel we're needed. I mean, those small little plays that are, drastic in the game allows him to, be prepared for those type of plays when it happens. So credit to them, and I'm excited for these guys, man. They on the roll, man. So
it's awesome. It's awesome. But obviously, it's hard to look at the big picture right now. You focus on Adams State, but everyone who watches and follows Division II knows Mines. They know that the standard. They know how incredible a program that is, but they're not used to seeing Mines slip up like this. And when you win a game like this, people take notice. People around the country are like, wow, look at Mesa. That was a huge win. Just talk about what this means for the Colorado Mesa program.
It's they were saying, some of the older guys, they were telling me like this is something like big, like something never happened before. Something I didn't even realize was like that big for real. But they were telling me, and it was just like a program changer. You know what I mean? Like it turn it around. Like, you know what I mean? They started winning some games. Really doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because all week they were telling us, that Mines was like 28 and like and like RMAC players, something like that. They weren't losing games. So whole week that's our motivation. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to be that team who's trying to beat them. I'm saying we're trying to win. So that's really what it was.
I think the big thing what O said is the motivation, letting those other games that we had ranked opponents slip away. I mean, we up against Central Washington 9-6 going into halftime, another top 10 ranked opponent. I think as a group and as a team, they actually say, not this time. We got enough to do it, and they had enough confidence building up. And again, they've been battle tested for this game. So I think it wasn't Mines. It was more so the situation and understanding where they were and what they needed to do to be successful in that game. But beating a team that's been successful back-to-back, going to the championships, being able to just do that helps us as coaches and players building confidence and shows them, hey, what you did worked. And I think that's truly a blessing, and I think it's good for the players to be able to see that. And not only the guys that play, but those freshmen, right, that are redshirting, that get to see it, right? Some of those seniors that are leaving their mark, allowing them to say, hey, I'm left my mark. This is what you have to do to be successful leading on. So.
Right. And as you mentioned, in that Central Washington game, up 9-6 at the half, and you guys, in striking distance, down by just 2 touchdowns. What was the message? What were you thinking at halftime to be able to come out, shut them out, less than 100 yards in that second half? And because you kind of have to know, like, we can't give up any more points in the second half if we won't have a chance to win this game.
You want to go first?
It's cutthroat. When halftime, coach not playing. Coach go there, you know what I'm saying? He yelling and stuff. He hype. He like, hey, they can't score no more. Like, so we just all locked in. We locked in on coach. We trust him. We believe in like what they be telling us, what they be saying. So whenever it's times like that, we don't waver for real. We really just go out there and just play.
What I pretty much told them is, hey, rely on your training. Don't try to be a hero. Be consistent.
Do your job.
And that was the last one I was going to say. You stole it from me. And then do your job. And I think if they do those things and trust each other, the foundation will. And I tell them, don't look at the score, just they're living it now. And I think that helps. That helps the guys not be anxious, no anxiety. And if they mess up, we run to the football. That's the beautiful thing about defense. And then we trust in our offense, right? Have the time of possession, right? I know that's not a stat that everybody says, right? So just having them being able to, wear down that defense. And when we go back out there, make sure we keep everything in front and tackle and make it hard for offenses to score.
Postures at practice. You know what I mean? After we not tackling at practice, we definitely doing postures after. So
Tell them what that is.
everybody know they gotta. We run to the 5. We run every 5 yards, and then every line. You break down, get in your stance, get ready to tackle. So yeah, they know you're not tackling that. You're not tackling at practice. You're not tackling in the game. We're gonna go home. We're gonna do them postures. So, yeah, we make sure we be tackling for sure.
All right, last question. Question of the day. Favorite live concert you've been to, or open air concert that you've been to?
Favorite concert.
I never been to a concert, but I would love to see Rod Wave. I'm hoping I'm gonna see him soon. So I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be mine.
I think mine was just opening up, being able to come to the Grand Junction. I went to the Snoop Dogg concert when he came here, so I was new coach here, and it was a good bonding aspect for us as a staff, and we just went. So it was a cool deal. Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, good.